What's up, guys? Today we're here with Tyler Czajkowski, who is the director of Crank's Picks short film called Box Fort. Tyler, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me, Eric.
Yeah. So just talk to me about the inception of Box Fort up until we premiered it. Just give me the how you came up with it.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I thought I had been a fan of a lot of like creepypasta and Reddit no sleep stories. And I was like, these would be great for a short film. So I started reading through a bunch. I asked like my brother, my friends, if they knew any that would be a good short film to send them my way. So my brother actually recommended Box Fort. He was like, oh, this is one of my favorites. You should read it. And I read it and I thought it was perfect. It was like, I was like, I can make this. My parents' house is very similar to the one in the story. I was like, it has a closet with a window in it, which in the YouTube comments was something people were like, what closet has a window in it? But it fit exactly what was in the script. So yeah, I wrote to Mallory, the writer on Reddit. I didn't know her name because it was just her username. And she got back to me a little while after and was like, yeah, that'd be awesome. Make it a short film. So yeah, we did that. And then we shot it back in 2018. And juggling like full-time jobs and just kind of working on it a bit on the side with the sound designer Evan. It took a little while, but we finally finished it.
Yeah, the sound design was amazing.
Yeah.
The whole quality of the film was very high.
Thank you.
What is your history of as a filmmaker?
Well, let's see. I've been making movies that I like to hope have been getting better ever since I was a little kid. Let's see, like in middle school, just kind of shooting movies with my friends on weekends. I went to Temple University in Philadelphia for film school. And then, made a bunch of films in school. And then I ended up in LA. I did an internship program through Temple. Worked at a few places, and then after I graduated, I just became a freelancer. So doing some of my small projects on the side while also trying to get paid gigs. So I did like some commercial work. I still do like commercial work, a lot of editing, music videos and stuff. So a little bit of everything, but I'd like to one day make films full time and have that be my main focus. But right now I got to pay the bills too. So I'm doing other stuff too.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's so convenient that your parents' house had everything that you needed.
Yeah.
I got to talk a little bit about the location. Yeah, it was the location, the cast.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So that was something I was looking for too. Not necessarily just to make an easy movie, but this was my first in this genre of like suspense and horror. And every time I try to do a new film, I try to, I'm still developing as a director. So I wanted to do something that I could focus on and get practice with. So this was my first time like attempting suspense. So knowing that it was kind of a new genre, I was like, well, what are some of the resources available to me? So everything else can be controlled. I can go back and shoot like a scene if I need to. So yeah, I lucked out. The dog was our family dog, Tucker, who was super smart. He played Theo. He's like everyone's favorite part. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, Theo, I hope he's okay. But he's super smart and like, I'm so lucky. He was like a little dog actor. He worked for Treats and he did everything on command. We just tell him to stay in the box fort and like when he was panting. And then, he listened to us when we tell him to come. But yeah, I lucked out that all that stuff was available to me. And my sister is an amazing actress. She went to school for theater. And then the other two girls, Maggie and Allie, we met through, Allie was one of Christy's friends also in theater at her school at Towson. And Maggie was, she went to the high school that we both went to, and she was in the theater program there. So yeah, I was very fortunate to have.
Was the lead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, she was great.
Yeah, thanks.
Great.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like when I was in film school, the one thing they were like, learn how to shoot in one location. tell your story in a house. And like some of the greatest films, the scariest for me, have all taken place in one location for the most part.
Yeah.
It's a really tough thing to do. And actually all I kept thinking for almost the whole time during your film was how well the suspense was built up.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, you like felt like you were giving a lot of kind of respect to the space, I guess, in a sense. Like you were just letting it breathe. And sometimes people were trying to do too many things or throw gimmicks in there when I was just like constantly wondering what was going to happen next.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. That's kind of what we were going for. Was there is, hopefully if anyone's watching this, they can watch the film first. So is it okay if I like say a spoiler or something?
Yeah, you can.
Can I give away something about the end? Okay, so basically
everyone dies at the end. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there is like a monster, you know, kind of playing tricks on these girls or whatever. But like, I kind of wanted the real monster to be the fort itself, and I wanted the house itself to be scary, and that's why you don't see a lot. It's more about the imagination, your imagination, kind of coming up with your idea of what this actual monster is.
Yeah, I kind of put it in the genre of like psychological thriller as well, because while you're watching it, I was starting to think, well, it could be her, it could be the house, it could be the dog. You know, I was wondering, like, you're waiting for something to happen, and all of the things kind of happen. Yeah. Right? Like you're going through all the emotions, and then, you know, there's just the ending. It's kind of left up to you to make it.
Yeah, I'm glad you got that.
Which is like a really hard thing to do without, you know, instead of the end being like, there it is. You're like, you kind of don't have that gimmicky resolve at the end.
Yeah.
And I respected that.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, that's what drew me to this story, because I'm not so much a fan, although I can appreciate it, of like slasher horror, but I like a lot more when they show less and it's more up to your imagination to come up with whatever that is or whatever. And in the short story, it is a monster, but when we were doing like the sound design and stuff, because Evan, my sound designer, was like, do you want it to be like a big creature or a small creature that we're doing sounds for? And we were kind of talking about like, well, yeah, it'd be great if it could be, the audience could not be sure if it's like a ghost or one of the sisters or a dog. So I'm really glad you were confused in that way as watching it, but then you can kind of at the end it's kind of a little bit open-ended at the end.
Yeah. So what do you have next? Are you doing another short film anytime soon? Did you like working in this genre? You think you'll keep working?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I have a few concepts I'm playing with and a few like creative collaborators that I'm talking to, and we are kind of talking about ideas. So nothing locked down yet, but definitely something in this genre, maybe another like creepypasta or no sleep story. So I really like the kind of creepy genre, almost like Twilight Zone, paranormal, supernatural genre.
Yeah. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah. Exactly.
Did you watch that series growing up?
Yeah, I watched like that and Goosebumps. They're actually really fun to go back and watch now, because they're really funny if you watch them now as an adult.
Yeah, as a kid, I was hooked to those things.
Yeah,
I was obsessed with them, and they were super scary to me when I was a young kid.
Oh, I know. I can't believe they were kids shows.
I know. I think that about a lot of things that are on Nickelodeon now.
Yeah.
Especially like
totally
some of these cartoons. You're like, wow, that's crazy. Maybe that's why we are the way we are today.
Yeah.
Kind of messed up.
True.
Oh man. Well, yeah, I'm excited for what you come up with next.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
I am too. It's been a little bit of a crazy year, so I'm like waiting for stuff to slow down a bit, and I'm just like, I just need a week for like, you know, work to be a little slow, so then I can actually focus on that. But meanwhile, I'm like, you know, I'm watching movies, trying to get inspired. It's hard to find inspiration, I feel like, in quarantine, but I'm doing my best of trying to go through movies that inspire me and stuff to yeah, hopefully that next project will come along soon.
Yeah. How has life been for you creatively through the pandemic? Have you worked on set at all? Have you been on any projects?
No, I've actually had to be pretty kind of closed off. My girlfriend who I live with has a severe autoimmune disease, so basically we've been kind of like locked down as much as we possibly can. But luckily, yeah, like I said, I have like some creative collaborators, some writers I've been talking to, and we've been talking through ideas. But yeah, it has been limiting in that way, but it's also good. It's an excuse to kind of get more pre-production going. So once it's over, it can come out, you know.
Yeah,
swing.
I feel like I've been using this year as like a building phase.
Yeah.
You know, like world
Same.
stuff. Like we literally got time off to just like refocus and build, and then coming out of this hopefully with a plan and some new projects.
Yeah, totally.
What was the most challenging thing about making Box Fort?
Most challenging was probably and my DP Jack would say too, was not really having a crew. Which so I had a few friends help out that were also like producers on it. But the producers on my film were more like creative collaborators. They were because a lot of them are in LA. So I was kind of like, hey, I kind of want some help doing this, but I'm going to shoot this in Maryland. I don't know if I mentioned that. My parents' house is in Maryland, where I'm from. And I was doing a lot of going back and forth at the time because I'm really close with my family. So a lot of them were in LA, and I was just kind of like, maybe you can kind of help on the front and back end of this, kind of just, you know, helping me work the script, and then like showing you guys cuts in post-production, giving me your thoughts. But yeah, no, when we shot it, it was me, and I flew my one of my really good friends, Jack, out to shoot it because he's a really talented DP. And like I said, we had a little bit of help there, but it was mostly for like 90% of the shot, me and him and Christy, my sister, but she was acting. And so, you know, I was being director, Jack was a one-man camera and G&E crew. And I was also his camera assistant in a way, because I was running off, getting him, you know, different whatever pieces of equipment he needed. And because it was just two of us, we were, I wish we were more organized, but because we were stretched for time, we'd be like, where did we put that piece? And we'd be digging through my parents' house. But yeah, that's just what comes with, I guess, like no budget and not many resources. But the next project I'm hoping to shoot out here, where I have lots of friends and can hire a crew, and definitely looking forward to actually having a crew of more than two on the next one.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes down and dirty, just you got to do it. But
yeah,
the next one you can have more people.
Totally. Yeah, I think I was very inspired to see what we could do with just two people, and I'm like, man, okay, even if we can, you know, have even a small crew compared to what we had on that one, I would hope the quality will be even better on the next one.
Was it the two of you or all three of you who built the box fort? Because that seems like it was kind of complicated.
Yeah. No, actually, the fun thing about that is we only used like 10 boxes for the box fort, and we would just build it depending on the room we were in. So basically, if it was like the foyer where you walk in, it would be you know, you'd see it curl around, and then if it was in you know, Muse's room, it was just like just that little bit that you see. So yeah, it actually was just depending on the scene we would go to, we just go and set the boxes up real quick. And yeah, and then the interiors, it was all actually in the basement, and we would just change them. They all were shot basically in the same space in the basement, but then as she would walk around a corner, we would cut and then just change the layout of the boxes, like the fort kept going on. But yeah, it was like I said, we had my producer Zach, and then Michaela that helped some, but and they helped kind of move the fort around too. But yeah, a lot of it was just in between takes. We'd be running around rebuilding the fort.
Great. Awesome. Well, Tyler, I appreciate you coming on and just chatting a little bit about Box Fort.
Yeah.
I think you're super talented, and I look forward to
Thank you.
seeing your next short film. And when it's done, just send it to me. Maybe
Awesome. I definitely will.
Program it as part of the Cranks Picks thing as well.
That sounds good. Yeah. Thanks so much, Eric. I really appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, have a great day. And
yeah, you too.
Talk to you soon.
Cool. Sounds good. Thanks, Eric.
Thanks,
See ya.
Tyler.
Bye.